Hey there, folks. Greg Shepard here, S&A Financial Services. For those of you that don't know me by now, I specialize in helping folks all over the country, just like yourself, get the most out of your higher ed retirement plan. So today's short video, I tell you what, whenever I mention either podcast or in these videos that TIAA Traditional 120-day reinvestment strategy, and I know TIAA calls it something different, but that's what I call it. It garners a lot of questions, rightfully so, because anytime you mention higher interest rates, people's eyeballs just light up. So I'm going to do my best to simplify this because a lot of your comments and emails towards me, hey, it's fantastic that you're asking questions. You have to start somewhere, and that's why I do this, okay, to help you out. But a lot of you out there, it's difficult to type back answers to a lot of your questions. You're making it more difficult than it needs to be, okay? So let me simplify it. All right. And it's not really it's not difficult. I know everyone out there can understand this, but this stuff can get confusing. So with that being said, where this would apply, well, first of all, let me preface this. If you have a mandatory account, typically where the employer has put money in, it ain't going to work. Okay. So you need to have liquid accounts. That's typically synonymous with you, the employee, putting in 100% of the contributions. Typically, it's like an old account. Or you could do it for a current account, but current employer, but you need it to be liquid. If you don't know what that means, contact TIAA, excuse me, a competent financial advisor, independent financial advisor that specializes in this space. Contact myself. Any competent advisor, he or she, TIAA rep, 5 seconds can tell you if it's liquid or not. Okay. So then that's first. Identify the liquid account. You got to have TIAA Traditional. I think that should go without saying. In theory, what you're trying to do is take that TIAA Traditional liquid account that has a subpar interest rate. You need to decide what that means. Less than what you think is going to be in 120 days. Let me explain. Let me give you a hypothetical. So dealt with a person. This is a real life strategy scenario where she had an old contract. You can do it for current as well, current employer, but her average interest crediting rate, which by the way, you can find that out very easily. Contact TIAA, you can find it out yourself on the website, but just contact TIAA if you want to know that information. Where I think the rate was like 3.5%. Okay. And this was back late last year. And we sold that investment, placed it in money market. Okay. And by the way, money market's getting good rates as well for 120 days. And guess what we did on the 121st day? We reinvested that money in the same exact investment that we got out of 120 days ago, 121 days ago, and realized, I think at that time, I don't recall exactly, 5.25%, 5.5%. So she bumped up maybe 1% or thereabouts just by waiting 120 days. All right. And it's liquid. So she's going to sit in that investment and that rate's good in perpetuity. So she can sit in that investment for as long as she wants. So in theory, what you're trying to do now the downside, if you want to call it that, is we don't know, okay? We don't know what the TIAA Traditional rate's going to be in 120 days. Now, we'll tell you this. There's been a pattern. I don't have the information right here in front of me, but there's been a pattern, I think since November. You can look this stuff up. Since November, that the TIAA Traditional rates have been coming down slightly. All right. It doesn't necessarily correlate. I get this question as well. It doesn't necessarily correlate 1-to-1 with the Fed funds rate going up. Okay. So call TIAA Traditional and find out, contact me what the current rates are. Then have that discussion about where your TIAA Traditional liquid rate is now, where we think it's going to be in 120 days, and is it advantageous for your situation? And piggybacking off that, folks, I can't encourage you enough. I implore you. This stuff it is confusing. Even me, with all the lingo and acronyms, it gets confusing. And I do this every day. Make sure you have someone in your corner holding your hand, walking you through this process, whether that's TIAA, the reps you can call, an independent financial advisor that specializes in this space. By all means, you can contact me, and I can give you all kinds of information that you probably don't have now. So that's it. I tried to simplify it a little bit. Don't make it more difficult than it really is. Liquid accounts, folks. Make sure you're looking at those liquid accounts. Got a lot of emails, and you're referring to these mandatory accounts. No. Okay. All right, folks. Greg Shepard here, S&A Financial Services. Go out and have a good one. All right. Bye-bye.